Okay, so we're going to get started in an all fours position on your
Okay.
mat. Make sure that you've got your strap and your pillows nearby. And let's make our way down onto all fours. We're going to spread the fingertips wide. Bring your knees underneath your hips. And start to roll through your cat-cow movements. Pressing the back body up to the ceiling. And then rolling the front body forward. Start to connect with your breathing. As you round up towards the ceiling, we want to exhale. And as you roll forward into cow, take a big inhale. Starting to connect with your body, connect with your breathing, connect with your spine. Connecting with your baby as well as you move. Make sure that your elbows are straight, your fingertips are spread wide. We want to keep our spine healthy as our bodies change. Our lower back muscles are going to do a lot of work to help support our growing belly. So we want to keep them strong, active, and still able to move so that we don't stiffen up. Let's take 2 more rounds. One more round. And start to find a neutral spine. Take it side to side, looking over the shoulder. See your hip. And then over the other shoulder. We're getting into the lower back muscles. You're feeling a stretch on one side. And some activation into the obliques on the other side. Keep going from left to right. Notice if one side feels a little tighter than the other, that's normal, but we want to address that area of tension so that it doesn't continue to accumulate. We want to release the tension within our body. One more time, each direction, side to side. And then start to find a neutral spine forward. Flip your fingertips back towards your knees. Walk them towards you a little closer and start to settle your hips towards your heels. To stretch out your wrists and your forearms. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a little gentle rock and sway from side to side. Carpal tunnel is a common pregnancy symptom. And so by releasing the connective tissue surrounding the wrist joint, we can help prevent symptoms of carpal tunnel. Getting those forearm muscles to release, to stretch, to lengthen. Make sure that your fingertips are spread nice and wide. Every system in the body is changing and being affected throughout our pregnancies. So we're getting into nerves, muscle, skin, bone, connective tissue, all of the systems of the body. By stretching, by moving, and by continuing to stay healthy throughout our pregnancy. A healthy you means a healthy baby. Start to gently make your way out of the stretch. Go ahead and give your wrists a quick shake. You'll notice some release through there, some blood flow coming back into the joint. And let's make our way back up into all fours. Separate the knees a little wider. Bring your big toes together. Find your left hand down in the center of your mat and then start to open up your right arm. Go for a full stretch. All the way through the arm, the shoulder, the pecs, the chest. Try to go back a little further. Now we're going to take that right arm and thread it under, resting your head and your right shoulder on the floor. Bring your left hand into your right hand and start to twist a little deeper. Going for a full upper body rotation. Keeping your hips high above the knees. Try to spread your shoulder blades apart. Turn your head and look up towards the ceiling. Getting into that rotation a little bit more. Bring your left hand down and start to rewind your way out of the stretch. Open up your top right arm. Reach, reach, reach. And then bring your right hand down to the center of your mat. Shift into the left hip. Reach your left arm up. Open that arm, that shoulder. Try to take back a little bit more. And then we'll start to thread the arm through. Resting your head on the ground. Take your right hand into your left hand. Pull the arm forward, getting into that deeper twist. Full rotation. Roll that top shoulder back. Look towards the ceiling. Getting into the ribs, the mid-back muscles, the upper shoulders. Keep the hips high. And then start to press down through your right hand. We're going to rewind our way out of the stretch. Open up that top arm, reach, reach. Bring the hand down. Settle back into child's pose. Make as much room as you need to for the belly. Extend your arms forward and allow the forehead to fall. Taking some deep breaths, full inhale and exhale. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Settle the hips back and down. Feel that gentle release through your lower back, the entire length of your spine. Feel your belly onto your thighs. Allow the chest to sink forward. Take one more full deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Stay forward. Start to look between your thumbs. Bring your chin on the floor. Your chest stays on the floor. And start to slink your way forward into puppy pose. Slowly start to push yourself back into child's pose. Bring your palms together and guide your thumbs towards the back of your neck. Stretch out your triceps, your shoulders. Full deep breaths in and then out. And on the next exhale, extend your arms back forward to the front. Go ahead and press yourself up, back into all fours. Reach your arms forward in front of you. Make them nice and wide. Open out your knees wide as well. And let's start to circle the hips. Big movements here, getting into the lower back. We want to feel the release through the movement. Keep going from one direction to the other. And then start out going the opposite way. Push the hips forward. Release that front body. Move your hips. One more big circle. And then start to find yourself straight back. Bring your knees directly underneath you. Hands directly underneath you. Find your right knee and bring it forward. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So that right knee is going to come straight forward to the front. We're going to start stretching out this outer right hip. The hips are another very important area of the body that adjusts as we grow our bellies, as our babies grow. We'll stay upright because we don't want to put any pressure on the abdomen. So while we're stretching out this hip, think about shifting over to the left. We want to feel all the connective tissue and the muscles surrounding that right outer hip. Releasing, stretching, opening up. Take a gentle rock from side to side. Letting that movement help open up the hip joint a little more. Depending on how open your hips are, you can take the shin a little bit more forward and get a deeper stretch. Make sure that your back leg is reaching really long. The knee and the thigh are pressing forward into the mat. Keep releasing that right outer hip joint. And breathe. Try to bring your chest up a little bit higher. Move and rock. Release those hips. And then we'll start to bring our hands down in front of us. Tuck your back toes under. Start to push yourself back into all fours. Pigeon pose on the other side. Find your left knee. Bring it forward between your thumbs. Reach your back leg long. Guiding that right hip over to the side so we can stretch our left outer hip. Taking a gentle rock and a sway from left to right. Trying not to squish the belly too much. Bring yourself upright as far as you can. Always accommodate the belly, no matter where you're at in your trimester. You can bring the shin a little more forward if you'd like to, if your hips are feeling pretty open today. Keep moving, rock and sway. Release those hip muscles on the left side. Should feel really nice. Extend your back leg a little longer. Keep pressing over to the right. Now we're going to sit into the left hip. We're going to swing the back leg around to the front. So another seated hip opener stretch here. We're going to stack the right leg on top of the bottom left leg. Our goal is to try to get our thighs directly stacked with our top right knee directly stacked. You'll feel this stretch on both sides of the hips. Allow the belly to release. Allow the hips to settle into the floor. Bringing your hands to the feet. Take a moment to feel the stretch. If you're not able to stack your right knee on top of your left, then you can always stack your right shin on top of your left shin. This is a good modification here. Whatever's going to work for you, try to spend a little more time here releasing both sides of the hips. We don't want to let the top right hip lift, so think about pushing it down towards the floor. Take your hands onto the feet, lengthen up through the spine, open your chest, and release those hip muscles. Continue to breathe through that intensity. when we get into our yoga poses that are a little more intense, it's important that we maintain a sense of calm through our breathing. That's going to help us with labor as well. As we're feeling those feelings of discomfort, focus on your breath to get yourself through. One more inhale and exhale here. And we'll slowly start to come out of the stretch. We're going to switch legs. So the right leg was on top. Now we're going to take the left leg on top. You're going to choose to either stack your thighs or you can stack your left shin on top of your bottom right shin. Allow that left hip to settle into the floor and breathe. Trying to stack your top left knee directly on the bottom right knee. Hold here, breathe. You will feel both sides. You might feel the bottom leg a little more intensely. Lengthen up through the spine. Make sure your lower back isn't curling under. We want to have a straight lower back. And then slowly start to take yourself out of the stretch. Go ahead and bring your legs forward in front of you. Shake them out. Get some blood flow behind the knees, on the outsides of the knees. And let's work on our forward fold. So with this one, you can spread your legs as wide as you need to accommodate the belly. And then we'll start to reach our upper body forward. If you need to use your strap, you can use your strap. Go as far as you can that's comfortable for you. Grabbing onto the toes. Use your strap around the feet if you need to. Lengthening forward as far as you can. Accommodate room for the belly. We're going to feel the lower back. We want to feel the hamstrings underneath your thighs. Try to keep your legs straight. Take a gentle rock and sway from left to right, moving the body a little bit here. Feeling the weight of your upper body collapse. And then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves upright. Bring your feet together in front of you. Find a nice diamond shape with the legs. The soles of the feet are together. Your knees are out. We've got a lot of distance between our heels and our hips. Grab onto the front of your knees. Start to lengthen your upper body forward again. Straight lower back. And then start to cup your hands around the outsides of the feet. And allow the upper body to fold. This is another great way to open your hips, to release tension in the lower back. Make sure that you're breathing and accommodate the belly again. We don't want to put pressure on the abdomen. Make sure that you take your time easing your way down into this one. You're going to feel lots of different areas releasing and opening up. Use your hands on your feet to pull yourself down a little more. You want to try to get your forehead all the way to your heels. Inhale and exhale. Let the weight of your upper body fold over a little more. And then slowly start to bring yourself upright out of the stretch. Cross at your ankles, your shins, comfortable cross-legged seat. Settle the hips down into the floor and let's work on our spinal mobility. We're going to take our hands onto the front of our knees and start to undulate from forward to back, moving the chest into a big wave-like motion, using your hands on the front of your knees to hold on. You're pressing your chest forward and then hollowing your chest back. Getting deep into the lower spine, your mid-back. Releasing tension through movement. Keeping the body open. It's only going to help us feel better on those tough days as we continue to go through our pregnancy. Every day is a different day. Lengthening forward. Hollow back. This is also going to give your baby a little bit of a rocking-like motion. You'll feel the organs inside getting a little bit of a visceral manipulation as well. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, press back. Get a little bit further, a little bit deeper. Take it one more time forward. And then back, and bring yourself to a neutral spine. Reach your arms up overhead, looking towards the ceiling, feeling your back muscles start to engage. Keep working your body slightly forward on an incline. We want to squeeze the back muscles so that we can maintain our best posture with our changing body. Our lower back, our spine needs to keep supporting the weight of our belly growing. So we want to keep those muscles strong. Feel the rib cage expand, getting more oxygen into the lungs, more air into the lungs. On the next exhale, start to bring your arms all the way down. Keep moving with your breath. Full inhale, reach up overhead. Lengthen through the spine. And exhale, bring the arms down. If you start to feel a little lightheaded, take a break. Come back into this when you're ready. Full inhale. Exhale. Our blood flow changes. Our heart rate changes. Our oxygen rate changes. Our heart is working harder to get blood throughout the rest of the body. So we want to keep that blood flow moving, but not to a point that's compromising. Just enough to keep efficient. Take a couple more rounds here. Reach up, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Reach up, inhale. Hold that inhale. Try to get a little bit taller, a little bit deeper into those back muscles. And then clasp your hands. Bring the hands behind your head for support. Start to open up towards the ceiling. Get your shoulders to press together, your chest to open. On your exhale, you're going to curl and tuck in towards your navel. Feel the back muscles, the neck stretch and release. Continue to move back and forth. Open up, inhale, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, curl in towards the navel. Move with your breath. Make that connection with the body, with your spine, your shoulders. Try to get a little bit deeper as you visit each position. Moving in that wave-like motion, that continuous movement throughout the spine. Take 2 more rounds. One more round. And then bring yourself upright. Find your hands onto your thighs. Let the arms relax. Keep the shoulders square and start to draw your chin towards your chest. Moving your head from side to side to release your neck muscles. Take your time here. Allow the weight of your head to release every muscle throughout your neck on both sides. Gentle motion. Only the head moves. Notice where there's some more tenderness. That's a good indication of where you're holding tension and stress. Try to let it go. Hold your left ear towards your left shoulder. The head is on a perfect tilt. Reach your right arm out on a diagonal. Push the shoulder down. Keep it pressing down and bring your left arm up and over the head. And pull yourself into a deeper stretch throughout that right side. Making sure to keep the shoulder actively pressing down. Continue to breathe. And remember again, if you start to feel lightheaded or out of breath, come out of the stretch. Ease your way back into the stretch when you're ready. Roll that shoulder down a little deeper, get longer through that side of the neck. And then start to turn your chin towards the floor, grabbing onto the back of the head and pull. Roll the shoulder down. Release your neck muscles. And then start to bring yourself upright. Hands to the thighs again. Draw the chin towards your chest. Roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Head is on a perfect tilt. Bring your left arm out. Roll the shoulder down. Right arm comes up and overhead. And pull yourself into that deep stretch. Releasing the tension in the muscle. Our sleeping positions change too as our pregnancy continues. And that can always put some compromised stress on our neck. So we want to make sure that we're comfortable. We've got lots of support with pillows. You have to discover what works for you. But the most important thing is that you're comfortable. Take yourself into the stretch a little bit further. And then start to roll your chin down towards your bottom right hip. Grab onto the back of your head and pull. Feeling the release a little bit more towards the top part of your shoulder, up through the ear. Take one more deep breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself upright. Find your hands to your thighs. Move your shoulders up and back and then around. Getting some movement into the shoulder joint. Squeezing those upper trap muscles. Actively pressing them down. We want to keep the tension out of the shoulders. It's a very easy thing to do. Make sure that you feel those muscles engage as you push the shoulders down away from the ears as well. Getting into the rib cage and feeling your shoulder blades slide and glide over the ribs. Our rib cages change as well. They expand, they open, and that can affect your shoulders. So we want to keep moving throughout the changes so that our body can adapt. 2 more big circles, up, back, and around. Up, back, and around. Hold the shoulders down away from the ears. And let's start to switch your shin that's in front, just to give the opposite hip a chance to release in the cross-legged seat. Find your strap. We're going to use it to take shoulder wings. Extend the arms straight forward. Keep them straight. And start to wing your arms, stretching out your shoulders from front to back, and then from back to front. So there's a lot of different muscles that surround the shoulder joint, and we're going to target all of those muscles. We want to feel the chest area expand and lengthen as well. Keep going from front to back. As your arms start to release a little more, as your shoulders start to release, you can walk your hands a little closer together on the strap. The relaxin hormone that's designed to help our hips widen and our ligaments stay relaxed is a really good thing throughout our pregnancy, but it does help you feel a little more flexible. Keep moving from front to back, from back to front. Try to keep your arms straight as you go through this movement. Squeezing the shoulders together. Big inhale and exhale. Couple more times each way, front to back, back to front. And then start to bring your strap straight behind you at the level of your chest. Hold it there, actively pushing out on the strap. Squeeze your shoulders together. Incline a little bit further forward. Release those chest muscles. And then start to bring your strap straight behind you. Keep the strap with you. We're going to hug the right foot in. Start to send your left leg out. Getting into an inner thigh stretch here. We want to settle both hips into the ground. Let's actively flex our toes straight up to the ceiling. Pushing this hip down into the floor and feeling your inner thigh muscles stretch. Taking your left hand all the way towards the outer left ankle. Keep pushing the back right hip down, and then start to reach your top arm up and then over. Feeling your side body, your lower back, your inner thigh. Lots of different muscles get targeted here. Keep reaching through the fingertips. Continue to breathe. Keep reaching over and over a little bit more. Pull yourself down and down and down a little deeper. If you can grab onto the toes, grab onto the toes. Make sure that the shoulders rolling back. One more deep breath in and out. And then use that top arm to slowly bring yourself upright. Take your time. Other side, we're going to hug the left foot in. Send your right leg straight out. Get adjusted again so that we're feeling the inner thigh muscles release. You're settling both hips into the ground. Reaching towards the outer right ankle. Grabbing on and then starting to lengthen up and over with your left arm. Ease your way down into the stretch. Breathe into that intensity. Keep the back hip pressing down. Keep extending the top arm up and then over. Inhale and exhale. Grabbing onto the toes if you can. Keep rolling the shoulder back. Continue to breathe. One more full deep breath in. And then use that top arm to bring yourself upright. We're going to extend both legs out to either side. Finding a full wide straddle stretch. Opening our hips and getting into our inner thighs. From here, taking one hand in the front, one hand in the back, or both hands behind you if your hips are a little tighter. We're going to start to rock the hips from front to back. Imagine that your hips are like a bowl. You're tilting that bowl forward and then tilting the bowl backward. Moving and mobilizing both sides, the hip joints. Feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. Forward to the front and back. This is tricky to find at first, so make sure that you take your time. It'll start to get easier the more that you do it. Feeling that rocking motion again with your belly, with your baby moving forward and back. One more time each way, forward and back. Now hold your hips tilting forward and try to reach your arms all the way into a full extension. If you can come onto the forearms, find your way onto the forearms. If you're able to reach all the way and let your forehead rest, you can go for that. Keep your feet active. Try to spread the heels a little bit wider. And then start to press through the hands and bring yourself upright. Slowly draw the legs in together. Shake your legs out. Take your strap with you. We're going to get comfortable laying flat onto our backs next. So if you've got 2 pillows or a wedge pillow, we just want to make sure that our heart is above our baby so that they have blood flow. So we'll start to lay down. Keep your strap with you. And settle into the floor. Let your lower back release. Let your ab muscles release. Squeeze the knees together. Take a moment to connect with your baby. Let your lower back muscles release. We worked them today, so we want to let them just settle for a second. And then from here, heel toe the feet so that they're touching. The knees are touching as well. Find your hands to your hips and start to roll through some cat-cows here. You're keeping the tailbone connected on the floor, but we're going to move just the lower back. This is really good to do if you've had a long day standing and you're really feeling your lower back muscles tense up. If you're laying in bed, you can do this simple exercise in order to release that tension, and it feels really good to just mobilize and get into your lower spine. Keep pressing your tailbone into the floor, arch your low back, and then round your lower back. It should feel really nice. Try to keep your knees together, your thighs together. By keeping our spine healthy throughout our pregnancy, it'll help us to recover after we deliver so that we don't have any chronic issues postpartum. One more time each way. Arch the low back and then round. And then we'll find a good neutral spine here and start to lift your hips from side to side. Doing that same C curve that we did when we were on all fours. So you're moving the hips from left to right, from side to side. Feel your thighs glide past one another, lifting each hip up and then over, up and then over. Move those hips. Release your lower back. One more time each way. And then we'll start to find center. Bring your feet out wide to either edge of your mat, your knees wide, the feet stay on the floor, and start to windshield wiper your thighs from left, up and over to right. Also another way to target the lower back. So we'll take a couple more times going from side to side. One more time each way. And then we'll start to bring our feet, knees, thighs together. Keep your left foot pressing into the floor. Find your right knee and hug it up and in towards your chest. Take a moment to roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And then we'll find our strap. We're going to loop it around the ball of your right foot. Extend through the heel and get into your hamstrings. If you feel comfortable extending the left leg forward, you can take that option, or if you're more comfortable keeping the leg bent, then you'll keep the leg bent. Whatever works for you, listen to your body. Pull the right leg towards you. If you need to take it slightly to the outside to make room for the belly, you can. Press through the back of your right knee. We want to get all that length into the back of the leg. We want to keep our toes actively flexing back toward us so we get into those calves. Muscle cramps, especially at night, are also a very common symptom in pregnancy. So we want to keep our calf muscles stretched out to try and reduce the severity and frequency of those muscle cramps in the middle of the night. We also want to make sure that we drink enough water to hydrate both ourselves and our growing baby. Pull the leg in towards you a little bit closer. You'll feel that stretch all the way down into your glute. Lengthen through the back of the knee a little bit more. Keep reaching up nice and high on the strap. Flex the toes back a little more. Settle the hip down. And then holding on to the strap with just your right hand, bring your left hand to your left hip and start to open your right leg to the side. Try to get your toes to the ground. Peel the hips apart. Release the muscles surrounding the hip joint. Getting that inner thigh area to release again. Bring the leg over 1 more inch. And then slowly start to bring yourself upright. Pull in towards you again for that same hamstring stretch. Pull, pull, pull. Get a little bit deeper the second time around. And then we'll start to let go of the strap. You're going to pick up your left thigh, cross your right ankle over, and start to open your right hip joint. You can stay right here if this is enough of a stretch. If you want to get more, then pull the legs up and in towards you. Make room with the belly, clasping your hands around the front of your left knee if you can, and taking a gentle rock and a sway from left to right. Keep actively pushing the right knee away from you while you're pulling the left knee in towards you. 1 more hip stretch for that right side. Keep holding onto your left knee and start to unwind, bringing that right leg forward and down. You can keep the foot on the floor and the knee bent, or if you're comfortable extending the leg forward, you can. Hug that left knee up and in. Lengthen the tailbone down. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And start to find your strap, looping it around the ball of your left foot. Reach up onto the strap. Pull the leg towards you. Flex your toes back. Getting into the calf muscle, the back of your knee and your hamstring on this left side. Keep reaching up nice and high on the strap. Allow the hip to settle into the floor. Squeeze your knee as straight as you can. And don't forget about your calf muscle. Keep flexing the toes straight back towards you. Pull the leg in as close as you can towards you. Accommodate the belly as much as you need. Breathe in and out. You want to feel this stretch all the way down into the glute. Inhale and exhale. Get into that stretch. 1 last stretch. 1 more inch. Getting a little deeper. And then bringing your right hand to your right hip. Hold on to the strap with your left hand. Start to open the leg to the side. Peeling the hips apart. Try to get your toes to the floor. Feeling your inner thigh muscles stretch and release. Try to relax the muscles surrounding your hip joint. Let gravity help open the leg over a little more. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then we'll slowly bring the leg back up to center. Get that hamstring release one last time. Pull the leg in towards you. Flex your toes straight back. Squeeze your knee a little straighter. Getting a little bit deeper as we visit this stretch one more time. Hold it there. And then we'll start to take the strap off. Pick up your right thigh if it isn't already up. Cross the left ankle over. Stay here if this is enough. If you want more, pull the legs up and in towards you. Clasp your hands around the front of the knee. Make as much room as you need to with the belly, and feel free to take a gentle rock and a sway from left to right. Keeping your left ankle secure onto the thigh. Continue to breathe. And then from here, we're going to unwind the legs. Start to open out your knees to either side. Find your happy baby pose. Lifting the heels up and out. Bend your knees towards the floor. Start to play with this stretch, extending one leg out and then the other leg out. Moving the legs from one direction to the next. See if you can extend both legs out nice and wide. Go for a full V stretch. And then slowly start to bring the soles of the feet together. Bring the feet to the floor. Let your knees open. Try to pull the heels up as close as you can towards your hips. Feel the soles of the feet press against one another. Take your hands onto the belly. Go ahead and move your hands around into two circles, massaging your belly, massaging your baby. You might be feeling them kicking and moving, or they might be sleeping because they're nice and relaxed. Spend some time with your baby here. Placing your hands directly over the top of your navel. We'll start to breathe into the diaphragm. Full inhale. Feel the belly rise, and then exhale. Feel the belly fall. Diaphragmatic breathing is going to be very important for us through labor. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into your womb. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed. Your hip muscles are relaxed. Your tailbone is tucked under. This is a really nice way to restore your body, calm down the mind. Take one more full deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to the outer thighs. Slowly close the legs together. And we'll start to roll over onto our left side. So the left side is going to be an important side to lay on because this is the best way for the blood flow to go to the baby. So when you're sleeping at night, try to get comfortable laying on your left side for that blood flow. Give yourself one last moment. And using your arm strength, press through the top hand. Bring yourself all the way up. And that concludes our prenatal yoga class for today. I hope you feel a lot more open, a lot more stretched out, a lot more tension has released as your body continues to change. Thank you for joining. Namaste.